What is up, CTC family? Shaka Daniel here, aka Chase That Coin. And today we want to do a look at the market health, specifically the platforms Neo, ETH, Stratis, and things of that nature. I encourage you all to hit like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be aware of when I put these videos out. And let's get into it, guys. Okay, guys, so the first thing that I want to look at, the first thing that I personally like to look at when I'm talking about cryptocurrency trading is I like to personally look at BTC, because BTC, for those of you who don't know, is basically the health and the underlying thing in the cryptocurrency market. So if BTC isn't having a great day, or if it's having too great of a day, it affects the altcoin market. So I want to start off with BTC. Now, I drew up two directions that I personally think that BTC could go, because I am bullish BTC here. I do think this is a very strong level for BTC, and even if we do break below it, I expect for the market to pull back above around 13,331, which is an extension of the Fibonacci level. So there's two ways we could go here. We could either go at a flatter trajectory, or we can go at a much sharper, higher angle. I personally think that BTC is going to follow this flatter upward trend, which is going to mean probably a little less volume, but a slow, steady upward move with some dips in it here and there. Okay, so if the market does follow this flat upward trend, I do expect altcoins to continue on very, very bullish. Okay, so the first platform that we're going to look at here is ETH BTC, and I'm going to look at it on Bittrex. Okay, so ETH has had a spectacular run up. This is the 4-hour chart. Okay, now there isn't much structure here. Okay, we do have somewhat of an ascending triangle. Okay, and I know a lot of you guys are crazy about, the names of these patterns. A lot of these patterns, especially the squeeze type patterns, when I say the squeeze type patterns, I'm talking about ascending triangles, descending triangles, symmetrical triangles, falling wedges, rising wedges, whatever it is that you want to call them. Many of them are traded the same way. In my personal opinion, none of them are bullish or bearish signs, but rather they're a buildup, or the way that I like to look at it is a pinch. It's a buildup, it's a squeeze in the market, and it can break upward or downward. Now, whether it's a symmetrical triangle, an ascending, descending, whatever, the way that you draw it up, most of the time it's the same. The way that you trade it, most of the time it's the same way. You're going to look for some kind of form of structure within side of the pinch, and you're going to either get out the trade if it breaks below the bottom of the trend, or you're going to get into it if it breaks above the top of the triangle. So, it's a game of semantics, and we're not here to play semantics. We're here to make some good trades. Okay, so we do have somewhat of an ascending triangle going on right here. Now, like I said, this isn't a bullish or a bearish thing. It could break either way. I personally, let's see here. I'm personally expecting it to break a little higher. All right, I do personally expect ETH to break higher. It may dip below the bottom of the ascended triangle temporarily, but I am expecting ETH to push higher. And the good thing about ETH pushing higher here, in my opinion, is the higher ETH goes, the higher its competitors can go. So the higher Neo can go, the higher Cardano can go, the higher Stratis can go, Stellar, all of these things can go much, much higher. All right, so we're going to take a look at Neo BTC. All right, so Neo is at a proven level of resistance. Okay, it has come to this point and it has dropped off. Do I think Neo is going to drop off a lot? No, I personally don't. I think we could get some kind of flagging action or a pennant, for the semantics. So I'm not expecting Neo to drop off much here. I do think it could pull back into the quicker moving average, and then, while it's creating its flag or its pennant, whatever, it could pull into the slower moving into the quicker moving average, and then break this level of resistance. So there's a few ways you could play this. You could wait for it. You can set up some buys along the way down towards the moving averages, in hopes that it hits your buys, fills your buys out, and then breaks up to the upside. Or you can simply wait and set some buys above the point that you want it to break. And when it breaks that point and it closes and you fill, then you just hope that it continues towards the upside, since it has closed above the point that you were hoping that it could break. So Neo could definitely continue to the upside. It has some ICOs and some different things going on, off-chain scaling, and some different things for Neo. So the next one that I'm looking for to break out behind Neo is Strat BTC. All right, so I am expecting Strat to continue out in a upward movement. It isn't extended away from the moving averages. They too have some ICOs coming out, but the difference is the ICOs that are on Strat are at least the first two are from big companies. These aren't from people with a good idea and ambition. These are going to be from legit companies. So I do expect Strat to break out a lot to the upside. Potentially to the next resistance, at least to the next strong resistance, in my opinion, there's 75%. This is cryptocurrency. We could eat that 75% in a day. So, I think there's at least a few X's, possibly 1 to 2X in 1 to 200% in Stratis here. So I'm on the lookout for that. Quantum is also another interesting one. Quantum is also another interesting one. That has an ascending triangle going on. All right. Now, do I expect it to break below? I'm not really sure, because it is in between the moving averages, and we could, this is a place where it could temporarily spike down, to test the bottom of this triangle. So I'm not going to say it's going to just go straight up. So we could get a snap down before we get a push up and, see what's going to happen as we get to the top of the ascending triangle. But I am still very interested in Stratis. Quantum, especially from a higher time frame. I wish that this candle right here would have continued or held some of its upward movement, giving it a nice body like these previous two. All right, so that's also telling me that we could possibly get, a pullback into the quicker moving average before we get a nice up move. But I am expecting QTIM to move upward, as long as Ethereum continues to lead the way also. Okay, let's look at Stellar Lumens, because Stellar Lumens was hot. Even though Stellar Lumens has ran up a lot, there is still some upside in Stellar Lumens. I personally would not get into this. I would hope for a breakdown back into here before I would be looking to get into this, simply because it's already ran up so much. So I need I need the market to take back some of this, some of it. So I would be looking to get in, preferably down here at the dotted lines, because this is where the real support is at, between these two dotted lines. I like to look at support and resistance as a zone. or a sliding scale. So that's the reason I did that like that. But this is a trade that could possibly have some more upside, but it's ran up a lot. So we could get a Tron-like situation. So I would be ultimately looking to get in down here. But the trade would start to get interesting around the blue line. Let's look at another one that is slept on, which is ETC, BTC. And I do like Ethereum Classic here. It hasn't moved up with the volume that I'm expecting, that I expected it to, but I still do like the trade. And there is still a lot of upside in the trade with a great amount of volume. Somebody is accumulating Ethereum Classic here. So maybe somebody knows something that I don't know. That I don't know. Let's check out the 4 hour. I like the 4 hour, but there's no real support there. So I would look for, hopefully look for some kind of maybe a push down and a build up of some kind of support somewhere, because there's no real support here. All right, guys. So that is the market health. We were specifically looking at platforms. Now platform is a tricky one. Technically you can argue that all blockchains are platforms, and then again you can argue that all blockchains aren't platforms. So that's just up in the air. But when I was speaking about platforms in this, I was meaning things that can do ICOs. People can build projects and different things upon on that specific coin. Okay, so I encourage you all to hit like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be aware of when we do these streams. Check out chasethatcointrading.com so you can take advantage of the free Excel spreadsheet with live coin market cap data. It is located in the store. And also grab yourself a membership to Chase That Coin Trading. And until next time, guys, keep chasing that coin, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.